Hello, welcome to SwitchedOn, Paul speaking, and welcome to a look at a new game that's coming out on the Nintendo Switch this week, and that is Monster Sanctuary. This comes from Team 17, a very famous game publisher, published some great games on the Switch already. This one comes out on December the 8th, so will actually be released tomorrow by the time you are watching this video, all being well. This is best described as a 2D Metroidvania, but with Pokemon-style combat. And I'm going to just show you some of the gameplay here, and then I'm going to tell you what I think of this one in a little while. So you start off, you choose your adventurer, and as I say, it's very much a Metroidvania. I'm in a new area at the moment called the Blue Caves. And it gives me a perfect opportunity straight away to show you some of the unique gameplay, because here we have a pressure pad that, as you can see, operates the door down below. Now you see this bird flying around me as well. This is one of my familiars. Now if I bring up my team here, this is who I've got on my team so far. And you can collect all different sorts of monsters. I think it's about 102, 105, 102, something like that. Different monsters, obviously they're similar types, but different monsters, and when you hatch them from eggs you can rename them. But the main thing I want to show you here is their abilities. Now if I show you the bird first, if you hold down the Y button, the bird will carry you, and if you jump and hold down the Y button, you get a little bit of extra spring. And if you jump in across and hold down the Y button, let's just try that again. See, you can get a little bit of carry. So that's the bird's special ability. Now what I want to use for this one, and they all have their own special abilities. For example, let's take a look at the sort of the lion type. And his special ability here is to sort of claw. And he can sort of take down barricades and vines and things like that. Very useful. The one I want to use here is the rock type, which is here. You see at the bottom there, his explore ability is summon rock, creates a rock obstacle to activate ground switches. It's actually selecting, very good idea. And you can see there, he will place a rock on a switch, lifts the door up, allows me to get to this chest. And there you go, it was all worth it because I got some corn. Lovely stuff. There's loads of chests spread throughout this world, so yeah, you're always collecting stuff, and it's really nice because some of them are sort of obviously ingeniously placed behind a little puzzle, a little environmental puzzle that you use your creatures with here. Or there was just a straight up puzzle that I solved a little while ago with switches. It's quite clever actually. It switches on one screen and then activate your platforms on sort of the room below it. So I had to keep going back and checking what ones I had to move. So that was cool. What we're going to do here is do some combat. So might as well jump straight in with the next sort of feature of the game. You've got obviously the Metroidvania platforming and exploration. And let's just, before we get to that combat, let me just obviously finish off saying about the monsters and their use in this Metroidvania style game. As you might have been able to already tell, different monsters that you collect allow you to access different areas, as any sort of Metroidvania would do. As you get different powers, it allows you to sort of track back and visit areas that you couldn't visit before. Obviously, when you get different creatures, for example, there's a quite a wide jump that I couldn't make until I got the bird type, and then I could go back and he could carry me across a jump. So really nice. If you like Metroidvanias and that sort of gameplay where you're sort of tracking back and unlocking new stuff to access rooms you couldn't before, then there's plenty of that here. So let's get to the combat anyway. As I say, it's very much influenced by Pokemon. You're collecting these creatures in the wild. You actually find eggs. See if I've got any eggs actually while we're yakking about it here. You press X to bring up this menu. Lots of different options here, but the one we're going to check out first. We'll come back and look at all these over the course of this video, but at the moment I want to see if I've got any eggs, and I haven't, but that's where they'd live there, in the eggs section of this menu. And you just literally just hatch them, and you can rename them and add them to your team. There is actually, once you unlock the keep, the monster's keep, which is kind of a safe house, and it's got loads of things in like crafting and shops and all that kind of thing. There is actually a section there where you can donate your eggs. You can donate any eggs that you find, and then you can donate any monsters that you've got that are sort of not needed, and you get sort of unlocks and rewards for those. But let's have a look at some of the other consumables you can get. You've got eggs, you've got consumables, a skill resetter there, so you can reset a skill tree of a monster. We'll come back to that in a second. Some food, you can feed your creatures food. gives them various buffs. You can see at the bottom now. If I give it corn, it will give 100 health. Apple gives 12 mana. Walnut is 8 defense. Potato is 60 health. There's plenty of other foods that you can give them as well. Combat consumables here. You've got smoke bomb that lets you run away. Various potions for healing. Phoenix tear here to regenerate or revive a monster that's fallen. And other potions. Crafting materials, as I say, you can upgrade your weapons and equipment. Back at the Monster's Keep. Catalysts, I've not got any of those yet. Key items, obviously, if you've got a quest, they will stay there, like keys or any sort of key items in quests. Weapons, I've only got 2 at the moment, extra ones. Every monster's got a weapon allocated to it at the moment. You can swap those around whenever you want. And then accessories, these are like, accessories, really. So you can assign them to your monsters, and again, we will have a look at that in a second. Let's just get this combat out of the way first before I carry on talking too much. You just walk into a creature. Doesn't seem to be any advantage in sort of getting the jump on them by sort of getting the first hit or anything. So, just walk into them and initiate combat, or avoid them if you don't want to get any combat. So let's explain this screen a little bit. On the left hand side are the creatures that I'm attacking. On the right hand side is my party of monsters that I can pick from. This is where the early doors, it doesn't really matter too much, but once you start getting a party together, you get some really nice strategy going along. So you see on the left hand side here, let's take the fungi at the top for example, even though there's 2 of those, the 2 fungi there. The top icon with the arrow facing up is what that creature is weak against. So the fungi are weak against fire, and if you've played anything like this before, and it's incredibly obvious, but the icon underneath that with the shield is what they are strong against. So the fungi are strong against earth attacks. See that leaf there? They are strong against that. And the bottom is what their attacks do. So they've got magic and combat, sort of magic and melee attacks, I suppose, and they are based in the earth sort of attack. So their special abilities are earth based. If we take the example of the gummy, the creature underneath it in the middle there, again, weak against fire, strong against water, and their attacks are water and earth based. So this is where you have to pick your team. So you can just go into combat and try and brute force it. It probably makes more sense strategically to match up your monsters. So we're going to choose our monsters based on getting some fire monsters, because all of those creatures we're fighting are weak against fire. So I've got this is the creature I started with. I called him Lionel. I don't know. He's got a really good fire attack, and he's also got something called what's it called? Can't remember the name of it. We'll have a look in a second, but basically it means that the enemy takes flame damage every turn. You're basically setting them on fire. So we're going to have Lionel. Who else have we got? We need someone that's possibly we don't want anyone that does any earth attack. So the blob unfortunately doesn't make it. Oh, Maggie here, he's good. We're going to have him. He's got a good flame attack. He is weak against water though, so we're going to have to be careful when he's up against Gummy. And we should pick one more. It's no good picking Valerie because she's got earth attacks. Oh no, sorry, no, she's weak against earth attacks. She does wind damage, obviously, as a bird. Let's throw in Howie, the abominable snowman. Abominable snowman. So, from here, this screen is where you can initiate your attacks. You can use the L and R buttons to switch between your characters. You don't have to do them in order. You can also rearrange them as a default, so you don't have to do it every turn. So I've got my 3 creatures here. I've got the lion, this maggot thing, and a snowman. What you're looking at doing is building up combos to do extra damage. You see in the top right hand corner we've got a combo meter and a damage. Whenever you do an attack or you do a heal or you do a buff, you build up a combo and your damage meter goes up, and basically every attack after that does extra damage based on the damage meter. So a good tip is to maybe do some buffing beforehand. So yeah, so if you do let's have a look, see if we've got a creature here. Maggie here has got barrier and shield. Now let's do the barrier, and you see that it costs 60 mana, and Maggie at the top there's got 124, so it's going to take us down to 64 mana. You then choose who it's going to affect. It's always going to affect the whole party. That special skill does. So there we go. So we've done the sort of buff, and you can see our combo meter's got up to 3 because it affected 3 characters, and our damage meter's up to 115. So you basically want to end your damage, do your biggest damage on the last turn to do the sort of be most effect of damage. So the creatures can do, we've moved on to Lino now, by the way. The creatures here can do a standard attack. They can use items, they can view the enemy information, or they can switch out your monster basically with another one in your party. And if we move across, you can see his special abilities. He's got Ignite, Claws, Stone Rain, and Fire Claws, and you can see they're the type like a magic attack, which is a melee attack or physical damage. So that's magical damage, physical damage, another physical damage that's earth based, and then another physical damage that's fire based. As you can, as I was flicking through there, you may see it on the monsters that we're fighting. I'm going to use the D-pad actually, it's slightly easier to use the D-pad. The monster fire attack as well. But as Lino is kind of my strongest character, I'm going to leave his attack till last. We're going to have a look what the snowman can do. He can do Ice Howl and beat him. But let's start off with that. So you can see if I pick Ice Howl, you can see the creature in the middle, was it Gummy? It's come up with a shield because that means he's strong against water attacks. But the other two aren't strong against water attacks. So we're going to use Ice Howl on this character. And again, the combo meter will go up. It's gone up to 7 because I've got 4 hits in. And now, finally, my last attack with Lino is going to do 135% of the damage that it would have done because of the combo meter. After every round of combat, the combo meter goes down, resets to 0. So that's why it's a good idea to build it up each attack. So we're going to pick an attack that does the most damage here. Looks like being Ignite, and as I said at the start, I like doing Ignite because it leaves a burn effect on the creature that will affect them on the next turn. So there you go, and you may have just caught there they took a little bit more damage. So Gummy heals the spore, or the fungi, sorry, and they did a spore attack. So next round of combat, you go backwards and forwards like this until all creatures on either side are defeated. We're going to use an Ignite attack now from Maggie. And we're going to stick with the creatures. Best probably, I find the tactics best to remove one of the creatures. And then there's one less to do damage to you. And there we go. So that's the end of that one. And we can start on a new creature now. We can go, let's do a... It doesn't really matter too much. Let's do some beating on this fungi. Does some damage and a slime shot there. So you can see it's really nice graphics. I've actually got the combat sped up a little bit from its default speed, and I think you can even go at a speed faster. So if you know these animations wear thin, then you've got the option to speed them up. We're going to do another Ignite, and we're going to do it on Gummy here because he's weak against fire attacks. We're going to get Maggie to do an Ignite, and we're going to leave... See, I just realised I don't think that was the best use. I should, as the snowman here doesn't do a lot of damage, he should probably be going first to build up the combo meter, and then doing our bigger hits second. We're going to use Ice Howl on the other fungi here to get him underway. Ooh, a poison bomb. You can see the white bars above our creatures. We're not taking too much damage at the minute. That barrier that we used helps protect that a bit as well. Let's use the snowman to build up the combo meter. Let's get him, again, Ice Howl on the fungi. And let's do Maggie here with her Ignite. Let's get that on the fungi, and then he can be taking damage every turn. Now then, we've got Ignite, which would take out the fungi, as would Fire Claws, or we can do a heck load of damage to old Gummy in the middle. Let's do that. We're going to use Fire Claws because it's 50 mana. It's the cheapest option we've got. But this should probably take care of Gummy because once he has the burn debuff after our attacks, that should take him out actually. I'm hoping. Yes, and there he goes. Fungi got a bit of burn as well, so he's going to go out. We could, let's just do some standard attacks. They can all do a bit of a standard attack just to take him out. And there we go. There's a victory. So you get these combat results. Show you the enemy difficulty, how long it took, how much health we lost, any buffs and debuff we used, overall execution, and that gives you a star rating and a total points value, and then that affects what loot you pick up from the combat. So we picked up 2 common bits of loot. There was a 40% chance we'd get rare loot, but we got 2 common bits, got 2 cottons, and 47 gold coins. After each round of combat, your creatures will earn XP and level up, and I think that'd be a good point to look at that. So let's go press the X button, go into skills. I won't do all of them because they've all got, as you can see, skill points to spend, but I'll give you a general idea of what it looks like. Let's start with Lino, because he's my first one, and each creature here has a skill tree. You see, levels 1 to 10, you can only use the top skill tree, and then as we go down, leveling up there, 10, 20, 30, 40, unlocks more abilities. I really like that as well, because it kind of focuses you on these early abilities, and you got a nice description at the bottom of what these all do. So let's have a look maybe at leveling up the fire claws that we've got. We're going to learn fire claws level 2. It's cost us 1 point. Let's have a look at Howie the snowman here. He has got 4 skill points to use. Just have a quick flick through some of these. So we've got icy skin. When this monster gets attacked, 40% chance to apply chill on the attacker. I like the sound of that, so we're going to have that. I'm going to learn that one. Water attacks deal 10% increased damage. We might as well take that as well, as he's a water-based creature. This is a new ability. I don't think Howie knows this one yet. It's kind of greyed out as well. So this is a tackle, so you can sort of barge in, and I think it hits all of the creatures, I think. Possibly. Let's have a look what else we've got here. Channel. So it applies a channel buff to the whole party. You can press X to view the buff information. So active skills require 20% less mana. That's quite nice. And beating, which we have been doing, we can level that up a little bit. Health proc. What's this one? Every attack triggers an additional hit equal to 5% of max health. That sounds good as well. So there you go. You kind of get the idea. As you can see, most of my creatures have got skill points. They've all got their own skill trees based on their types. You can see all the skills are different, and you can learn new abilities that give you the extra combat options. So at the minute, Cat here has only got 2 abilities, and she can learn 3 new ones or level up her old ones. And then, as I say, when they reach level 10, you get access to the next level of the skill tree and more powerful attacks. So really nice skill tree like that. I do like a game with a skill tree. Let's just have a quick flick through some of the other stuff here in the menu, and then we'll go back to some gameplay. We've got equipment, which I kind of went through before. We've got the weapon that you use. It's got a +1 on it because we have leveled that up at the Monster's Keep, which we'll try and get back to before the end of this video. Lino is also rocking a bracelet, a crit ring, and a ribbon, and they give various buffs. And you can select here when you're choosing different accessories. You can see the effect really nicely on the left-hand side there. What that's going to have, good and bad, obviously, across the creature's stats. So again, makes seeking out loot worthwhile. So we've done inventory, equipment, skills. Team just lets you pick a team and save it if you want to just have a few teams when you get some more creatures. Status here is just an overview of the monster. So it just tells you what they've got, gives you a nice overview. Monster journal, we've just unlocked that when you get back to the keep. Really, really detailed, and gives you loads of information. Lovely artwork, beautiful pixel artwork, and just gives you loads of information about the monster. You can let's go back to him here. Let's go back to someone that's got something. Here we go, Cat Zerka. Really detailed backstory and all sorts of information. What sort of loot that they can collect. Their explorability, so when you're sort of out in the platforming part, what they can do. So the cat here's got slash, which breaks through hidden walls and cuts through vines. As you can see here, I've unlocked a handful of monsters, but as I said, there's let's have a look, 101 monsters to collect out in the wild, so that's really cool. You can talk to your monster at any time, and they give you a little bit of a hint, and talk to the main monster, your familiar, that you pick at the start. There's a choice of I think 4 familiars that you can pick, one of each type maybe at the start. I went for the lion here, but basically if you get stuck, you can speak to your familiar and they'll give you a hint on what you're doing. The map, this is what I've unlocked so far, and that whole orange area over to the side there is the Monster's Keep. We're now in the blue caves. The green area served as kind of a tutorial. Quite a long tutorial. It was a couple of hours long. Longer than that, actually. Maybe 2-3 hours. Various options. There's not much in the way of options. As I say, you can turn up the combat speed. Oh, looks like up ×2 was the fastest, but there you go. You can slow it down if you want to keep an eye on what's going on. And you can save and quit anytime, which is a really nice option. Literally any time. Save and quit. Go back to the main title screen. And you can continue at any time and you're straight back to where you left off. So there we go. Let's do a little bit more exploring and I will wrap up this video with my opinion. I'm probably not the biggest Pokemon fan. Not the mainline games anyway. I got Sword and Shield. I've never really been interested in the Pokemon games over the years, but I took a punt on Sword and Shield because it was a big Switch game, and big Switch games are kind of my bag, what I should be looking at, and I enjoyed it. It's quite nice, but I found it a bit of a drag after a while because it's incredibly easy, isn't it? So we're into some combat. So we've got 3 fun guys. We can just use our fire attacks while I finish off yakking away. Let's have another fire attacker. Who we got? Let's bring out Valerie, actually. She's got a wind attack and some buffs. So yeah, I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan, as I say, by any stretch of the imagination, but I really like this game a lot. I quite enjoy pixel art platformers. I will sort of look into many of those, especially if they've got a Metroidvania sort of thing. Definitely interested, and interesting combat. I really enjoyed this whole sort of turn-based combat system. Works really, really well. So a little whack of some fire claws. Probably get rid of that creature. Should be an easy combat. Yeah, so I really enjoy all of it. The pixel art is beautiful. The sound, the story so far is really nice. There's a couple of interesting characters that I'm looking forward to hearing more from. The combat effects are good. And it's just a really, really good game. I was having a little look around on Steam because it's been out on early access for a little while on Steam, and people are raving about it on there as well. I think they're really looking forward to the full release. What should we do with old Valerie? But yeah, my mind was made up before. It's literally just before this video. I thought I'd have a little look and see what people thought, and yeah, they're digging it as well on the PC. Let me know what you think below. If this is going to be your sort of bag as well. If you're a Pokemon fan, or as I say, if you like Metroidvanias and something with a bit quirky combat. I like the secrets in this as well. The puzzles, little hidden things that you can find. There's little sort of little side quests as well that people give you to do. That are really, gives you a bit of a diversion. Let's just try and get rid of this fungi. See if we can do a little bit more exploring before we finish up. Should be able to finish on the next turn. So yeah, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video and you're liking the look of this one. As I say, this one's out tomorrow, the 8th. So be sure to pick it up. I'm not sure how much it is actually. Let's have a quick look. This is $15.99 in the UK and $19.99 in the States, which I think is a really, really good price. Great value. As we get some more copper for crafting. Let's actually head back to the Monster Sanctuary. Another good thing I quite like about this game is the monsters don't respawn, so you can't just farm an area. Once you've beaten them, they are gone. And also, as well, I imagine this map is going to end up pretty huge. There are like fast travel crystals that you can find. If I bring up the map, probably be marked on there. Yeah, so there's in the middle there, sort of glowing bunch of pixels in the middle is a fast travel crystal, and you can see we've got another one here in the Monster Sanctuary as well, so we can jump from the Monster Sanctuary out into the world. No doubt there'll be one in every area, so no doubt I will come across one in the blue caves and the other areas that I go to. Thankfully there's no fall damage, and we're just coming up to the keep now. Just going to jump over these to avoid some combat. So it's easily done. And here we go. We're into the keep. Just have a quick look around here. So there's plenty to see and do in this area. Let's go and have a look at the shops and stuff. So we've got a potion shop, food shop. You can buy extra items, or you can sell, obviously, like you can in most RPGs. Buy potions and antidotes, and we've got a weapon shop. Probably come back and visit this because my creatures have still only got basic weapons. We've got plenty of cash as well. We haven't really bought anything yet. We'll get some shuriken. Nice. I'll just pop up here and show you the blacksmith. So there's the crystal there, so we can jump to another area on the map. And the blacksmith, where you can upgrade your weaponry. Armor and accessories all there. So there you go. So that hopefully gives you a really good idea of what Monster Sanctuary is all about. As I say, for me, really liking this one a lot. I think it's going to do very well. I think it's going to review really well. There is also some multiplayer in it as well. You'll need Nintendo Switch Online for, by looking at the description. I don't know if it's in this area here. And it unlocks once you go up a few levels, up a few ranks. And some stuff is locked behind ranks that you... oh, there you go, online area. So you need to be a Keeper Lancer to access that. But you will be able to fight 3-on-3 with your buddies online. So there you go. So there's a nice option there. Although, obviously, not been able to test that yet. And even if I was at the right level, I doubt I'd be able to test it. Because people won't be online yet because the game's not out. So there you go, that's Monster Sanctuary. Thank you very much for watching, really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you're new. Give me a thumbs up, please. That would be really appreciated as well. And leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of this one, if you're going to be picking it up. And I hope you enjoy it if you do. So there you go, thanks for watching again, and I will see you all next time. Cheers everybody, bye bye.